All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the India Predator League 2024. We are back with the upper bracket this time as we've got four
Yep.
teams today to go against each other and finally decide who will be amongst those prestigious and strongest teams of India who will be able to make their way to that upper bracket final. It's me, Universe, and with me I've got Anna, and we're going to take you through today's games. The first one, of course, being Orangutan versus Badua Lipa. Both teams had a pretty interesting first game. Orangutan, of course, a pretty dominantly, I would say, step forward against Sarafa. Whereas Barua Lipa, they had a bit of a slip up in one of their games, and now they're here facing off probably one of the favorites. Anna, what do you think about this one?
Well, this one is going to be filled with a lot of fuel from revenge because we have seen players of Badua Lipa who were previously going by other names actually face off against OG in a very important tournament where it was going to be decided who goes to Ascension. And that went pretty close. So I feel like Simmer versus Antidote is going to be something to watch out for.
Yeah, indeed, agreed. I believe that BL do have quite the interesting squad as well. While we do expect a fight from them, I still believe that this should be, or will end up being a little bit of a one-sided game just because of the fact that Orangutan are, pretty much the strongest team right now in our region. There's no,
True.
I would say real competition. Orangutan have come this far without dropping a single map. They didn't drop in the previous one either. But I would love to see me some, interesting movements coming in from BL to maybe at least pick up a map, if not even defeat Orangutan. Let's have a look at the maps though, because this could tell us a lot of the story that could unfold today. Let's see what Orangutan and BL have in store for us. We do have Ascent, that is the default pick of OG. And on the other side for BD, we've got Haven as their pick, and we will be finishing off on Bind. Thoughts about this?
I would like to reiterate on your point. Or on your point, we will be finishing off on Haven. I don't think we're going all the way to Bind. This is
All
a
right.
very one-sided matchup on paper. According to the statistics, this is not supposed to go all the way to Bind because Haven itself, we have seen Raw Fuel go up against the teams on Haven. He is
Mhm.
pretty, dominant on that as well. And well, we do know Orangutan, the whole team itself on Ascent. We've seen them play before against Rafa, and they have been pretty mind blowing. So I don't think there's really a very strong chance of Badua Lipa making it in. But if we do end up going to Bind,
Yeah.
that's gonna be super interesting.
Yeah,
Super
I
unlikely,
absolutely
but
agree.
super interesting at the same time.
True, true. I think that if want to pick up at the same pace they left off the previous game, I think that would be good for them because the last time they kind of almost let a sense slip away from them, which by the way is their strongest map. They let Sarafa kind of dictate that first half. Let's have a look at the agents though. What is going to be the pickup of these players already? We've gone by quite a bit, and I think it should be pretty much the same.
Yep.
There we go. Rafael with the Silva. Of course, he's switched on to the flex role pretty for a while now. And on the other side, it's going to be DC Rules, who, by the way, um, I did want to mention this before going to this game that DC Rules, he's been a little bit up and down. I mean, he's a great player, but I believe when he was playing the previous game, he had a little bit of an inconsistency, not across maps or anything, but across multiple different rounds in the game itself. There were a lot of times where, the space created by him was not made of full use by his team, or sometimes he himself was taking fights that shouldn't have ever been taken. So I hope that they've gone through the VODs, learned from their mistakes, because this is going to be quite the team to go up against. And if we're looking at what the actual lineup is, it seems like RVK is not
Choose
playing
your
today.
agent.
Frostmine is
Yep.
coming up to take his place.
Exactly, and even if you take a look at the agent selection from the side of Badua Lipa, the last time around on Ascent we did see them going with Shibi on Jet, and this time around they have changed things up. Let's see how much impact this is going to be able to put into the game, because last time we did see in the earlier few rounds Shibi was able to capitalize for the team as a Jet, but then slowly and steadily his downfall came into existence, and then the Jet could not really gain any entry for the team at all whatsoever.
Hmm.
So I hope this time around with this switch up, Badua Lipa will stand a stronger chance because they need to
Hmm.
bring all they have into this one
Yep.
to be able to give a challenge to Orangutan at all.
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe that they require quite a bit of force, and if they want to actually try and maybe, give a fight to Orangutan, they need to take charge from the first step go. You need
Yep.
to make sure that Orangutan feel a little uncomfortable. But hey, it's all for the game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find out if at all this team of what I would say in this game as underdogs can actually match up to the Goliath that's in front of them. The first best of three of the day. Of course, this will be deciding our upper bracket finalist, who will be facing off against either Reckoning or True Whippers. It is going to be Ascent, followed up by Haven, and if at all we acquire it, we will be heading up to Bind. But for now, Ground Zero of Valorant is beginning.
Well, early intel gathering has already started from the side of Orangutan, and they are gonna be coming in strong. However,
Wow,
there's
okay.
a great denial from the
Spike down
side
mid.
of DC Rules, and Sai will come up for the backup as well.
Last player
They
standing.
cannot even recover the spike, let alone the round.
Well, pretty quick cleanup it seems. Shivi, he will be making sure that the last player does not take him down, even at 4 HP. Does not fall. That first kill from DC Rules absolutely maniacal. He just saw a pixel and he fired it off. Great shot to deny Aziz any sort of movement. And then the remaining that follow up that came from Sai, he found better timings. One picking up the spike as well. Great cover up, good round from Badua Lipa, and this is exactly what we need to see from them going forward as well. But it all depends if their momentum is going to allow them to carry it. For now, Orangutan on a full A stack push, it might seem, as there is a decent bit of players available on this A site. Let's see how this one turns out, though. Shivi's got the smoke a little bit deeper, and he wants to keep Orangutan at bay, which they immediately do pay attention to. They say, yes, sir, we're going to rotate back towards B, and they are on their way.
With all due respect to the smoke out there, they are going to be rotating towards site B. And this time around, on site B, even though we do have the Sentinel and the Initiator, we do not see a lot of utility just yet. Even the one that is present can be actually dealt with a simple shot dart. So let's see how the entry is going to work out. A lot of HP loss onto the Orangutan players. However, the trades have been good enough. Still in the favor of Badua Lipa though.
Scanning ahead.
Yep. Hoax just put down that recon, which will get destroyed, but he does have his sheriff. It's just not going to work out for too long. Antidote takes him down, and the Orangutan are dealing damage here, but DC Rules with a trade of Frostmine, though, makes it a little bit comfortable for himself, but he still has Sai to deal with here. How he swings, he goes for the white peak, but it's not going to work. The Spectre will spray him down, and that's going to be BL with a bit of an expensive round, I would say. JN could have actually taken the fight there, maybe taken the second kill and then gone for the Nanoswarm detonate, because he probably did not expect them to be so up close and personal. Well, Badua Lipa forced to reinvest into this. You can see three players, actually only two players are reinvesting into this. The other one's going to be holding on to that ghost, it seems, JN, as we do have a small bit of a pause here. But OG, full buy on them, of course. And they should be looking at their first round victory here.
Absolutely. This time around, OG will be able to squeeze around for themselves. And if they lose this, they have no economy to hang by. So this is going to be crucial and important for them. Nonetheless, if you take a look at the loadout picked up by Badua Lipa, there's an Ares in the mix. And I mean, being the map of Ascent, it kind of makes a lot of sense. That too on Hoax.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that Hoax, might go for the breach here, but Ascent just as good, of course. I mean, forgive me, Sova just as good as, of course, on Ascent. And now, DC Rules hoping for a bit of aggression towards A. Information does not give him anything because OG are currently holding their ground. Don't want to give out anything here. Hoax is waiting for a bit of that turret action. Antidote does give it, but there's a shock dart to hold him off. He's down a little bit. He needs to be careful about these fights. The recon is so good, and Ares pops him straight out. That's a weapon that can be retrieved. I'm not quite sure if Jayan actually went and took it up. Nah, he didn't. He didn't. It's still towards B main, but the rest of OG now preparing to go in towards Catwalk and A shore.
Well, site A is not gonna be easy to take. This is gonna be a hard-fought battle for the side of OG, and they cannot really afford to lose this fight. They are gonna slow down a little bit, maybe reset their mentality and then come back in. The flash will hold them back just a little bit longer. But that's about it, because now it seems like DC Rules is gonna be in trouble. He's not really expecting players from the backside, and that entry might give him a lot of trouble.
Oh, look at Aziz. Does he win that fight? No, he doesn't. Shivy actually takes him down. There was a counter flash to hold off the A-main push from Sai as well. He's got his knife coming in just about a couple of seconds. They're making Orangutan a little uncomfortable here. They're trying to squeeze their heads, and Sai will be continuing to do that with his weapon as well. DC Rules holds it down, and Orangutan, again, that slow start we saw in the previous game is evident here, but don't let this fool you, ladies and gentlemen. They know how to pick stuff up pretty easily in the second half. They pick up their momentum a little bit slowly because they know they can do so. They've got a pretty great squad, of course. And Orangutan, they are now shunted to an eco. How far can they push this envelope? Badua Lipa is what we have to witness, because they will be happy to get this 8-4, at least maybe 9-3 if possible. For now, DC Rules upgraded to a operator as Orangutan await a B push, because they did detect information. And oh, Shivy, he's tucked into a good corner here. Will he be checked?
Well, that twist corner is supposed to bring a lot of value, but Shivy just does not get the duel coming to him. Sai, in the meanwhile, will take care from Pizza, make sure that he eliminates the clone KO. 5v2, Badua Lipa just capitalizing one after the other. The weaponry disadvantage doesn't help Orangutan either. So just one single frag, denial of flawless is all that could be done.
Yep. Dua Lipa, they will be heading forward to 4-0. Pretty clean so far. They're keeping their structure in place. They're not giving out anything to Orangutan. They're making them feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I love the way that they're playing so far. They're taking a couple of risks that is, really working out in their favor. But now they face the Rat. This time Orangutan might be going for a fast execute, as it seems likely all 5 players here. JN, he's going to be in a heap of trouble if he's not careful. Out come the knives, and there he goes with a dash, and that should be the kill. There it is. Aziz starts things up, and he's got Hoax in front of him, who could be playing a bit of a sneaky game, but he actually pops out of his little corner, and he gets taken out by Excalibur. Sai, he misses the first shot, and he comes up for the second, but he misses that as well. One after the other. OG have just turned up the heat here. Like I mentioned, the minute they turned up the pace, they were going for a fast execute, and they knew that they're going to be winning this one.
Well, fully prepared for the fight. They have gotten themselves the site and the plant as well. This time around, Badua Lipa DC Rules will have to just hold back and save the weapon, because he did invest heavily into an operator nonetheless. Commencing the end of the fifth round, Orangutan will find themselves the first victory of this map. And soon enough, we can expect them to go on a complete roll. Oh no. They're not gonna give up the operator, will they?
Good hold here from DC. He keeps himself honest. Not going to push too much. But Dua Lipa survive thanks to DC Rules with the operator in that round. But Orangutan, they've got a lot to work with. There was a great flash coming in, and that took care of the first kill. And then Hoax's slight bit of itchiness to get a kill there gave up the site itself, as OG just rammed themselves into the B site. And now they seem to be wanting to do the same towards A, as the operator has misread this and he's gone towards B. Orangutan, they've also got 2 good ultimates to use. And Badua Lipa do have their own KO null command, which could prove to be pretty useful on the retake. But for now, no rotations called, even though they've heard a lot of noise outside of A here. The operator is still sticking there. Great flash pushes Shivy off his mark, but instantly they trigger a smoke, and that's kind of what OG wanted. As now, they will just clear out lines and wait for that Killjoy lockdown to do its work, which could be destroyed by Shivy. Does he want to do it is the question, though. Out he pops, he gets a kill, but does not destroy the lockdown. DC, though, he rotates in on time and gets a kill back, and now it's on to him and the knives to make this work.
Well, DC Rules definitely is waiting around for catching a couple of players, but it completely depends on whether or not Orangutan will even commit to the site. They do have enough time to run around. They're choosing to take the battle, get the numbers up, and with the classic, Aziz will shut Hoax down as well, bringing the second one home for Orangutan.
I'm not quite
they
sure.
They can find themselves on the equalizer. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened on the side. I wish we could have seen that POV, because the two players who are in heaven, especially DC Rules, they had a good chance to fight because the opponents had no utility, which means no flashes, nothing could have come out of them. And DC Rules probably had a perfect, chance to go in for, a little bit of a hover in the air, take a shot, and then probably come right back with a smoke. He did have one available, I think, but OG were given way too much time, and now they're going to enable their own null coming in. Out he goes, Aziz. He's got his nice popped, and he's ready for a fight here. Side gets a great spray down through the smoke onto Excali. Of course, his ex-teammate is going to be really happy about that, but Aziz almost sprays down Side there. He's down to 10 HP. Lucky to survive there. The plant will go down. Orangutan in a 3 versus 5. How can they hold this fort down?
Well, with all the ultimates available to the team, it does not seem super hard, but let's see how they're gonna turn this around. This time around, they haven't found value even on the Hunter's Fury, and the players are being lost one after the other. It's a 1v4 situation. Half the plant has already been defused. This is not looking good at all. There it is, the final frag from the side of DC Rules, sealing off another round for the side of Badua Lipa. Just as it seemed like the momentum is shifting towards OG, Badua Lipa came back in and swept it back up.
Indeed. 5-2. A good round from the defense here. They kept themselves pretty composed throughout that situation, but the biggest kill coming there was of a size from onto Excali. They shut down the KO, and that means a boatload of utility went down its way, and him surviving there on 10 HP with that stinger burst from Aziz was basically the round win condition. And now OG, although they have bought into this round, they need a desperate win here. They want this round to convert, because otherwise we could see BL run away with this first half, pretty much similar to how we saw Sarafa take control. But let's see how this turns out. Catwalk being the point of contention. DC Rules has got his operator pretty much ready, and he started himself here. The drone does not push him off too much, but the flash will not take him out either. I thought it was going to push him off, but he gets a blinded kill there. Great trade-off from Aziz, though. But Antidote, he's hoping for a little bit of sneakiness here, and he will get tagged. No, he doesn't actually. And JN's covering this, and he will take him down. Good awareness.
Antidote, after having saved himself with those jiggles all across the Hunter's Fury, still loses his life to JN nonetheless. The numbers are still balanced though. The players they lose on site A, they recover on site B.
JN pops out and gets a kill out of nothing, and Rafael's left alone here. He has no support because his teammate's down on A, and now Rafael's managed to get back towards B main. Do these players rotate? Rafael actually goes for the fight because he knows he's got no time, and now Aziz is coming in from spawn. They know Hoax is here, and he's gonna try and deny this as much as he can. Aziz takes him out. Forgive me, Hoax takes Aziz out, and Rafael will go down through the boxes itself. Hoax, playing the patient game, gets himself rewarded with the 6th round.
Oh, beautifully done, beautifully done. The brilliance on Hoax and Aziz on this round was amazing. Every single player that was lost from the side of OG was recovered by Aziz himself on the other side, though. And that made him rotate pretty late, giving a little more time to Hoax to set up his own play, making him one single man that could literally bring Badua Lipa to a winning round on this one. It really did not seem like Badua Lipa could make it through on this.
I think the problem there was that probably Ralphio should have been, taking that fight first onto Hoax and then Aziz come in for it because Aziz was pretty low. Ralphio was low as well, but the point was that Aziz could have pinched him up. He could have squeezed his head a little bit because of the plank going down. Hoax would have tried to maybe
True.
take on that fight. But either way, we are here, and Aziz has already made up for a little bit of the previous round. Of course, he was the guy who was getting frags across the A side, and Ralphio didn't have time to rotate. This time, he shut down that I believe the Omen. Yep, and Shivy's gone, which means now they have a free entry to the side. DC rolls a little bit of spam. He's got a fragment coming his way as well. The feet get a little trampled as Antidote now, letting his team plant down as he goes in for the lurk towards short, which is expected. Or will he be checked in this corner?
Well, Orangutan has taken control of the whole site, with only Heaven being the position that the defense can penetrate through. Already picking up numbers as well in the process. In a 2v5 retake, Badua Lipa might not stand much grounding, and they're just gonna go ahead and save their weapons. Even though they have won multiple rounds in a row, it seems like they want to not disturb their own economy much. Probably because they
Yeah.
really did not win rounds with most of their players alive. It was mostly just one or two players surviving at the end of it. Oh, Antidote is still following.
Yeah, he wants these kills. Now they know that this is probably going to be just the back of B side. They're trying to spam him down. Nothing of that sort. Almost. Oh, he just didn't miss him out.
Yeah.
It's all right, though. It's a good round from them. And OG actually taking the time out here. Interesting from them, because I believe that on the back of that, setup, Sky might have spotted something. And I think he wants to kind of relay that to his team as to how they can make this half a 6-6 and not let us slip away from here, because I think BL are pretty close to an ultimate. Probably the lockdown. We're not quite sure. We'll have a look as the timeout expires, because Orangutan right now, as you can see, Antidote, he's halfway across getting his lockdown. I think Excali might be close to the null command. But I think this should be a talk about the ultimates as to who they should be targeting at this point, to not let them have an ultimate, affect their gameplay. Because right now, that ultimate economy during these, middle rounds of the half are going to be really important. And those ultimates are what actually buy you out and, take you further into an advantageous position. Let's see what the call from OG is, though, at the end of this. Maybe the strategy could be for the next round. Maybe it could be for this one. For now, it seems like they're going on towards a 4A stack with Antidote holding out towards mid and B. And on the other end,
out of charges.
the Badua Lipa boys are stacking on B.
Well, Badua Lipa does have a switch up coming in. They were sending their Killjoy along onto side B most of the rounds. They have finally brought her into site A. And JN being here will be able to support the hold. The turret will give ample amount of information. And now that they know even the operator is posted on side B, they are going to rotate to side A and stay there. And Badua Lipa also making the read, trying to rotate early into this one.
Oh yeah, Shivy wants to maybe be a little bit of a smoke criminal, but look at Aziz. He's got so much room to work with. He's just gonna keep spraying them down. Of course, they're on an eco, except for DC rules and the player who saved the weapon. But Aziz is a little bit hungrier than usual. He went for the kill, but DC rules was ready for him. And now it's a 2v3. OG have realized, you know what? We don't need to push anymore. Let's just play for the plant. And Frostmine will take care of that flank. And DC Rule should probably go and save this operator that he just went by for. But he wants to go for the fight. Gets the first, but Excali will trade him up. That operator save might have been a little bit smarter, because next round, I think he does have the money. We'll have a look in a second. But I believe saving that operator would have been a better choice in that 1v3.
I believe so too. But I mean, DC Rules having that economic cushioning for himself did decide to go in for the fight. Lost it nonetheless, but was able to create some damage onto OG in exchange. Now, the thing is, because OG's economy is not as stable as that of Badua Lipa,
Yeah.
the more players they keep losing, even after winning rounds, the better it is for Badua Lipa to go forward with. However, there's only 2 more rounds remaining, so it shouldn't be that much of a trouble. But look at that. DC Rules just aggressing yet again and not really bearing
Ooh,
fruit this
okay.
time.
Yeah, he gets the Sai on the cross, and just as he goes away, he makes sure to stick a blade on his foot and takes him straight out. That's going to bleed him to death as Orangutan with a great bit of entry here, and they instantly shut down all movements together. They hope that BL are going to make some movements, and there it is. The first one comes in that mid smoke now that can give Aziz a bit of rotational impasse as he will get closer on towards mid. A drone going in and short. I'm pretty sure that Killjoy utility has been spotted there. A shock dart to maybe take it out. And JN's now a little careful. He's aware of the fact that there could be an A short attack coming in. Moves in towards main. Winds into control. But now it's going towards B. This is all just a fake. And the Sova there is going to be in huge trouble. How can Hoax win this one out?
30 seconds
He needs at
left.
least 2.
Hoax is in a great position. Goes
Oh
for 3.
my god!
I got the spike.
Goes for 3. He's already put himself in a great position, but then the exchange has been good enough. It's a 2v2 scenario. However, once it gets pushed into a post plant, it's not going to be
10
good enough for
seconds left.
Badua Lipa to go ahead and squeeze back.
Last player standing.
Oh, no, Rafael.
Nicely done.
That fight was unnecessary for him, and he pays a price for it. He could have just played on the back side, and now Aziz left to clutch it out. He's done this so many times, we cannot count it anymore, but he's required once more. Sees the one spot, sees the other as well. Now he knows both of these players are coming from the one side. Fights the first one beautifully. Now picks up the Vandal back. He hears the drop, but Jay is ready for him. Stabilizes his aim in about just a second to clutch it out. And BL will head into the second half with a minimum of a 2-round lead.
Beautifully done by
Last
JN.
round
And
in
I
the
mean,
half.
in a way, Aziz would definitely be kicking himself for this one. He was on the verge of winning this. Very well handled. Hoax was on the verge of getting JN as well.
Placing alarm bot.
Heard the drop and still kinda missed out on the frag. This was painful for OG to lose onto. They could have gone in with an equalized round number, but now the count is gonna switch around.
Once again, the fast B exec as they love doing it. The recon. Oh, never mind. Aziz just to tap onto DC Rules, who, by the way, standing out way in the open, was hoping for a frag, but not gonna come his way. Just a touch of damage. And now Hoax, the Odin is only spotting one direction, my friend. You've got nobody watching your back. And as a result, Orangutan have taken the B side, and they've got so much to work with. Look at those ultimates. They've got that no command and the Hunter's Fury. They've got no problem in winning this round.
Powerless.
Well, this time around, walking back into the site is going to be slightly hard for Badua Lipa, and Orangutan is looking for the trip. Hunter's Fury comes in, but
What?
JN is strong enough, gets 3 for himself. And now it's a 2v2 for both the teams.
Revealing
This
area.
one does not look good for Orangutan.
Last
How do
player
you lose
standing.
3 players to one single JN? Oh no. This was sad.
Switching sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I think but Lipa just couldn't, capitalize upon the 3 kills that JN found out of nothing, to be honest. It was Orangutan's fault. They started feeling a little bit confident, and they went in for those, peaks on the back of the Hunter's Fury distraction. They were hoping that maybe Rafael could cause enough commotion for them to, peek out of their hidey holes and get a kill or 2. But JN, he expected it all way too well. Found 3, but just wasn't able to convert
here.
more. His teammates needed to do more there. He'd done practically enough. In the end, it is going to be a 7-5 half as Orangutan, once again, on the back foot on Ascent, but don't take them lightly. They love their second halves in Ascent. And that's exactly why we've seen them win out the previous one against Sarafa as well. OG now depend on Aziz, and he just practically gets a kill for free. What is happening? Make that 2, and he gets one take. He gets taken out, but that's still Orangutan in the lead. That kill onto Sai. What was Sai doing there? He didn't even shoot back.
That's true. He should have been able to fight this off. But well, Orangutan just being on better numbers so far will be able to pull this pistol round in their favor and probably come back to an equalizer. This time around, entering in is going to be super difficult for the side of Hoax, while the rest of the team actually tries to find out where exactly to hit with this number drop. It's going to be hard for Orangutan to really know what's happening, considering there's no intel coming in from the side of Badua Lipa. But then again, numbers being good on the defensive side will make sure that they have enough to hold on to both the sides without really bothering about where the hit is coming in.
30 seconds left.
Frostmine is going to be the point of contact, and they're letting JN go for the first pick when he's got the full HP is not the right decision. Then he needs to be the one to try and get the information from his teammates who are darn low, and then use them as bait to play this one out. That shock dart, never mind, is going to be Scally finds a kill. 13 seconds. The last 2 players remaining want to go on a bit of a world tour here on towards heaven, and for what reason we will never know, because they're not going to win this round. They just want to play for kills here, and Orangutan will not give them anything. Kind of misdirected, misjudged their movements. Badua Lipa complete round was turned on its face because of Aziz getting that first 2 kills like it was nothing, and then the damage coming into the remaining 3. I don't know why JN was the first point to take that fight. They should have all, you know, swung in together. They know their best bet was on the fact that numbers swing in and isolate these fights, but either way, what's happened, and Orangutan seem to be back on track.
Well, they just need one more round for the equalizer, and it seems like being on the anti-eco, they might be able to turn this around. Again, raw fuel going in for that early intel. However, counter recon dot might be coming in from the side of Hoax as well.
Scanning ahead.
That dash has been tackled already. And now it seems like OG on the roll already.
Out of charges.
This time around, they do want the equalizer and probably want to capitalize on it as well. Raw fuel not aggressing just yet, wanting to make sure that the smoke clears before he takes his shot. Does give an opening to Badua Lipa as well though. Running back, Shibi might be caught. He's fast enough though, on his feet.
The spike currently outside of B, which might get caught out because look at all these players. Antidote, he's ready, and there it goes. Down it drops from his shoulders as the last remaining players are picking up the orb for a bit of farming here. And Frostmine heard this, he's called this to his team. They're getting them to the other side, but it's going to be mid as they are hoping maybe none is the answer. No damage given to OG, by the way, in this round. They're all clean, which means no investment into armor required. Everybody is going to just buy up utility. So they've got actually so much money in the bank for the next round. This was probably the cleanest eco they could get because, like I mentioned, nobody, I'm pretty sure that nobody took a single HP of damage in that round.
Making sure that they do not have to spend it all in their bonus round, making their economy stronger and stronger going forward. And Orangutan, if they're able to capitalize on this, in this half, they will be able to actually shut the game pretty quickly.
Yep.
Let's see how this one is going to be dealt with reinforcements all towards site A. And the entry coming in from mid-market. It seems like B will be hard to enter.
Oh, Sai gets the first pick. Scally's gone, but Aziz answers back. And Antidote, look at that corner. He's hiding in logs, and he found 2. This is somehow doable. Never mind, as I say it. Sai takes out the final player. Frostmind will be caught in rotation as BL maintain their lead for now. 8-7, but Orangutan, they have a full buy coming in. And this is exactly the point in time where Sarafa started to slip up. So we could be ending up seeing the same thing for Badua Lipa as well if they're not going to be careful. They need to find that exact bit of form they did in the first 5 rounds of this game, or else it might turn to quite the bit of a disappointment. early A aggression from them. They gave a bit of information with Shivi's teleport, but they're going right back. OG setting up Aziz here, but he gets his vision blocked, so he's going to run away to another corner. Actually, playing A short itself a little safer. That's it, as the boys of BL now head in towards B. All 5 members just going to regroup and wait for Sai's knife to come back online, as they've got all the utility in the world to set up DC rules, and he's going to be really important. Out comes the swing, and now Raw Fuel waiting for the spam. Ooh.
Well, through the spam, Rofuel will get one. But the numbers, they're still equal. Finally, he goes ahead and capitalizes on it. He can very well find Shibi as well, and he will. 3 for Rofuel, 2 more to go. He can find his ace in this one. Goes for the 4th, but loses to Hoax, and here Rofuel gives up his fight. However, OG still not in a very comfortable position just yet, considering that there are 3 people trying to fight it off against 2 that they have no idea of. Sai gets 1, Sai is ready for the other, but Badua Lipa won't be able to survive.
Yep. 8 to 8, a pretty standard retake here from Orangutan, all thanks to Raw Fuel getting those first 2 frags. JN losing his life was okay. I'm not quite sure why the second player came in there to try and swing him and take the fight, and they basically gave Raw Fuel what he wanted. Another easy fight to win because he's so good on his aim. We've seen that in the last match as well. That man got 50 kills in 2 maps, and he is still doing his level best here. OG. Although he is at the bottom of the scoreboard as I say it, but those 2 kills, it's about the impact that they provided. On the other end of the same scoreboard is Aziz with 22. He's carrying his team pretty heavy right now. And Aziz tried for another one in his 23rd, not going to come his way. Shibi, he expects a short. He does not blind him actually. Excali's still alive, hale and healthy. Gets the 1, 5 bullets on his mark, needs to get away. Flesh comes in, he pops it out, and Aziz will take him down anyway, as the last man now is towards B, forgive me, A main, and all he's got to work with is that Sheriff. Nothing else. A smoke coming in 3 seconds. Maybe he could work something with that, but the spike is a world away from him.
Well, being able to recover the spike was definitely not a question that Shivi could have answered. But being able to recover the lead is something that OG has done pretty well. The numbers advantage stayed with them, and they were able to make sure that all the trades fall in their favor. And with time, one after the other, OG squeezed out every single player from the side of Badua Lipa in a flawless fashion.
Whew. All right, Aziz now once again looking for his mark towards B main. This man wants to just keep on getting those numbers. He's adding onto his tally. Does get blinded. Will instantly rotate away. That recon's good to hold him back for a minute, and there's such good utility from the Killjoy as well. DC Rules wants to just jump right in. The Hunter's 3 pops in at the same time. Aziz misses his first shot, but Rafiel's not missing anything. He's happy, hale, and healthy, and he's shooting everybody in sight. Hopes will get 2 for his troubles, but OG will find a round, and that's what they care about. 8 to 10 as Orangutan once again find Ascent to beat their map in the second half more than the first.
Well, in the second half, we are seeing Orangutan going with the impact. They have already hit the double digit, and soon enough, they might be able to squeeze the map, telling us exactly why they picked it to begin with.
Alarm bot out.
Hoping to see the comeback story get written to the end from the side of Orangutan on this one, because again, even after being the favorites towards the first half, it seemed like they were giving in onto Badua Lipa.
Agreed.
Again, the same kind of entry, but without the cloudburst, will take DC Rules out.
Player standing.
And this time around, Antidote with 4 of his own, beautifully feeding the team.
Ah, Aziz, he's stuck in that corner, couldn't even actually updraft away. Shibi has a bit of room to work with here, but the spike is away. He can't pick it up with the ultimate, of course, and that's exactly what OG are hoping for now. One-way smoke to cover off one end as Excali, he's itching for a fight. The spike picked up, of course, as Shivi, He's got pressure on him. One smoke, but he will not be allowed to use that either. Orangutan with 11 as this game seemingly pretty quick to be shut down on Ascent.
Well, Ascent might be the start of descent for the side of Badua Lipa, friend. Because it does seem like for them there's no grounding that can be found. One more round to lose and they will be in a very, very grave pit to come back from. This is not looking good at all whatsoever. Already on a broken bye, Badua Lipa tries to go in with Bulldogs and Spectres.
Get out of my way.
Not really
He's
the
aware.
weapons they can rely on right now.
He's aware. Aziz was actually ready for that updraft, but it came just a little bit late. They waited for the smoke to come in. DC rules, his dash has been wasted, and now he cannot take the velocity entry anywhere. Aziz again smoked off his mark. He's not happy. He's pretty annoyed about this. He wants a fight, and he might just get it on the back of that drone, giving him a bit of free space to have his vision tainted upon. Covers up the close angle, and DC Rose will shut him down straight to the dome. He fires that blade as now they have a bit of advantage to work with. Rafio tries to take it away from them, but he's suppressed from his utility usage, and he will get away. OG needs to be careful here.
Well, the 0 point does work out pretty well for the side of Badua Lipa. But OG this time around cannot really risk much. They have still lost one another player. And now with numbers in the favor of Badua Lipa, OG can
30
only
seconds left.
wish to have this round. However, the plant has not come in. The spike is pretty far away from the site, holding them back. If that's possible from the side of Orangutan, can really do the trick.
Oh, that's a mistake. That's a big mistake. Excali, though, he can hold this off. He's got ultimate as well. He's got a flash, and he takes him, man. Size God, and Excali's on for the ace here. But Rafio steals it away. It doesn't matter. They don't care about the aces. They care about the rounds. Number 12 is up in a 3 versus 4 that was in the favor of Badua Lipa, but this teleport probably ruined it all. And I'm not quite sure why the players did not rush in. I think the blind came in from Frostmine to keep the rest, and that was a great isolation play, because the minute he heard that teleport, he knew that the players are going to walk in to support that Omen, and instantly he put in the paranoia, and he kept them at bay. They couldn't enter in, and Excali just flourished on the back of that. A great round from Orangutan once again, and now they've got so many ultimates to work with. Badua Lipa, they've got one shot at winning this, and that's that Killjoy lockdown. Will they utilize it towards B? Because for now, it seems like it could be a B split that they're going in for, and that lockdown could force in a lot of fights.
Well, already having given away the information, DC rules triggering the alarm bot has made the team of Orangutan aware. And now that this might very well be the last round of the game altogether, we can actually see Orangutan capitalize on all of the ultimates that they have stacked up. Let's see how this one turns around, because so far Aziz, from the position he has, should be able to secure a couple more. Oh, that's a lot of intel to give away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aziz is still holding down, and Rafio's getting a little bit close, and he's got information on the other side. The footsteps he can hear. He knows that there's probably going to be someone here. Out comes the lockdown, and now he might just be forced to take this peek. The recon, but they don't check him. They don't check the corners, and he finds 2. And will let that one get away, but he's still got so much to work with. He's got his own lockdown, and he might just be good enough to use it to win this round, unless Shivy can actually do something. They're playing on the aggressive here because they know that the Killjoy lockdown is probably going to be the detriment of this map of Ascent for them. That's exactly why they want Shivy to maybe be a little bit aggressive, and down it goes. Shivy's gone down as well. The ultimate comes in from the other side. Oaks is going to be able to manage to take it down, but he gets pressured upon. And the last player, he's going to try and push in, but the lockdown might just take him out. No, it doesn't. He's going to destroy it. Frostmine's got a bit of a jump on him. He's taking the site. The smoke goes down. He goes for the big defuse, and Hopes will get him on it. A third for him as he clutches it in the last couple of seconds. Hopes nerves of steel to win that, to be honest. He shuts down the Hunter's Fury. He goes in for the fight. He knows that he needs to destroy the lockdown to have any chance of survival. And he just runs for it because he knew that's a risk he had to take. And Orangutan paid the price for it because nobody was ready to guard that angle.
Cool, calm, and composed, exactly how an initiator should be, exactly how a clutcher should be. And well, Hawks did it all. He stayed very composed all through, made sure that he can make Badua Lipa one more fighting chance and make sure that they can actually make it through. This time around, though, individual brilliance won't bring as much fruit. They will have to rely on more than that.
Oh, Aziz. He gets... Oh, he actually... I think he tagged... Nah, he didn't tag him either. He's gonna get away scratch-free there. Sai, lucky to be alive. Shivy, though, towards A main, trying to maybe do a little something. For now, he's been smoked off, and he did waste one smoke himself, so he's gotta wait for this execute to come in because he needs both the smokes. He's got a flash, but no, never mind. I think they're just gonna go straight in, and the heaven is not guarded. The smoke is not gonna be there, and Aziz will make them feel the pain for it. One after the other, they're gonna walk into his crosshair, but Aziz is missing a lot of his shots, but the rest of his teammates won't be doing the same. The last two players left, the initiators, are gonna get taken down as well, as Orangutan shut down Ascent at the A main chokehold.
Well, 13-9 is a good enough scoreline to win with, and the first map going in the favor of Orangutan does make a lot more pressure on the players of Badua Lipa. I have no idea how they come out of it, but then again, the next map is going to be their own pick, so they might be slightly more comfortable there.
Well, we're gonna have to find out. Haven is a lot more disciplinary in some terms. It also can get extremely aggressive if you love your momentum. But for now, 13-9. Once again, similar scoreline, by the way. Like I mentioned, this was exactly the same situation that Orangutan had against Sarafa, where they let the first half slip by. It was 7-5, and they came back into the game. They took it 13-9, exactly the same way the second half ended. Orangutan kind of love to take their time with Ascent, but the following map of Haven is going to be coming in with quite some bit of rigor. I would really hope to see BL a little bit more proactive with their plays. They were proactive in this game as well, I'm not gonna lie, but sometimes their coordination was a little bit off. They required individual prowess every now and then. JN did that a couple of times. Hoax clutched out that penultimate round we saw, of course, and DC Rules again a little bit strugglesome. I think he just could not find his footing. The Jet is it's not been his best friend, I would say. I think he's had a bit of an on and off relationship with that agent. Yes, he's got his good moments, but also his not so good moments have been just as, I would say, frequent, if not the same.
True that, and with that, there has been a lot of times when we've seen repeatedly that winning rounds were lost by the side of Badua Lipa, and Orangutan just capitalized on every single mistake they could spot from the play of Badua Lipa. This pressure is gonna mount as soon as they enter into the second map, but hopefully Badua Lipa will pull themselves back up.
Yep, and I believe that they do have a game plan for Haven. I'm pretty sure that they should be going for that similar single duelist pick. They, of course, I think there might be a shift up, of course. I think Kasai is gonna hop onto that Sova. We will have Hoax on the Breach. That's kind of their, go-to on Haven. That's their, composition. DC Rules, of course, will play that Jet. But I would love to see a little bit of a switch up. Maybe they need a fresh pair of, I would say, brains in the mix to maybe think what can be done differently. Because Orangutan, they're coming into Haven, I believe, for the first time in this, in the two games that they played, two best of threes. Haven was supposed to be the third map against Sarafa, but of course they shut it down on Lotus, so it didn't end up, being the case. But Ascent was, again, quite the roller coaster. As we I'm pretty. I think. I mean, I expected it to be the case after watching how the first half went down. I was like, Orangutan will win this. It's gonna be a close, not close. It's gonna be 13-8, 13-9, maybe 13-10, and it did end up being like that. Do you see this being a 2-0, or do you see maybe a bit of speck of brilliance from Badua Lipa in the next round?
Well, I do expect brilliance from the side of Badua Lipa on the next map, but then again, I do not expect them to win the next one either, because again, as you mentioned earlier, on the map of Haven, we do see teams requiring a lot more discipline, a lot more coordination, but that was something that I did not see coming in as much from the side of Badua Lipa. Most of the rounds were won on individual brilliance, and that's not gonna bring up enough for the next coming map. So let's see how that one turns out, but this one had a very specific storyline, giving 27 frags to Aziz and only 18 to Hoax. Like, the top fraggers from both the sides, there's literally a 9 kill difference.
Yeah, Aziz was absolutely on point from the get-go. I think in the first half itself, he was pretty much in the driver's seat for his team. His team was just playing a support role for him. They just wanted to set him up, and once you've got your Jet feeling a certain way, you just want to let him roll the ball, you know, just snowball into the biggest form possible, and then roll over the opponents. As you can see, on the other side, DC Rules just could not replicate the same thing. And like I mentioned, I'm pretty sure, you know, he's going to be in quite some trouble if he continues with this form in the next game, because they need that duelist to sing. Yes, he had a few kills where he was looking really good, but in the overall game, his impact was close to almost minimal. So I'm a little bit concerned about how this game is going to turn out. I would really hope to see maybe Sai back on the Jet. We've seen him do that before. He is, you know, he did start off his Valorant career as a duelist, so it's not gonna be the worst thing ever. I believe that Sai does have, you know, quite some, you know, flexibility to play, and I think he has great ideas as well. If he plays that, you know, role of the Jet, I think DC Rules is a pretty flexible player. We've seen him play before. You know, he is pretty great on the controller initiator flex as well. Maybe he could pick that up, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to be seeing it in the next game. At least they might need some time. Ladies and gentlemen, another map is coming our way. Haven could be a safe haven for Orangutan to finish this off 2-0, or is this going to all turn upside down and we see that third map come in? We'll find out at the end of these ads. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to map number 2. Haven is going to be underway in just about a couple of seconds, but let's talk about what just went by. Ascent was quite
Yep.
the underwhelming map from, I would say, both these teams, because Orangutan, every time they pick this map so far we've seen, they've been on the slower end of stars and then they take their time. But in the end, eventually they take themselves across the finish line pretty comfortably. On the other side, and now we've got BL, who have lost this map after being in control for quite some time, and now we're heading into their map pick, and we have to see what they've got in store for us. Are they going to be continuing with the same, roster that they had for the previous time they played Haven? Because last time, yes, they did beat, I believe it was Grey Fox. Yes, they beat Grey Fox 13-10 on Haven. So that was I would say, a decent victory. It wasn't too good, wasn't too bad. Let's have a look at their agent selection, because Anna, I do want to ask you and know from you, do you think this Badua Lipa team can actually pull off a miracle here?
Well, again, as I mentioned earlier itself, I do believe they can bring up a better matchup this time around, but I don't think pulling up a miracle is going to be as easy. Even though I want to hope and pray that they win this one and we get to see the third map altogether. But again, being on the same exact lineups, being on the same exact compositions, it just does not seem very possible for Badua Lipa to change things around, because again, every time there is a defense favored composition, Orangutan is just able to squeeze things up on their second halves, and they're just doing great on that.
True, I agree, and I think that Orangutan playing on Haven, they've played this before. It has been one of their picks in their, I would say a little bit past map polls that they usually play with. Haven, Ascent, and Bind were 3 maps, and if you could throw in a little bit of Lotus every now and then. But hey, we'll find out how. They've not played Haven for a while now, so let's see how it all ends up for Orangutan and this team of Badua Lipa, who are hoping that Haven could be their map to push this to a third one and maybe give a bit of a challenge to this team.
Yep, and I mean, OG being one of the teams that is known for not dropping any maps in multiple tournaments so far. If Badua Lipa is able to do that, they can actually damage OG's confidence and put them in a very scared situation. Intimidated. Yep. Early frag already trying to create some intimidation onto OG, and OG on the fearful factor kinda loses ground. They do panic a lot. So if Badua Lipa is able to maintain some good pressure from the start, they might be able to make things difficult for OG.
Absolutely. And now, as we head further into this round, look at that ace stack here from the defense. Ralphio, he spots him out. The turret does as well. One after the other. The trades are coming in the favor of Badua Lipa, though. But there's still one towards a short. Excali's still here. He's not been checked, and he finds 2. So much value, and DC
What
Wolves
is
not looking at him.
Last
Why is
player
DC Wolves
standing.
not looking at him?
Enemy
And
remaining.
he gets taking out
Oh
the
goodness!
recon. And now it's a 1v1, and Hoax wins it to actually secure this round for his team. A 4K from him. But what was DC Rules looking at?
Where was the communication? Excali was not supposed to get as many frags from there as he did. He wasn't supposed to be able to squeeze anyone after the first frag onto Sai. JN, okay, I get it. JN kind of whipped. DC Rules did not even look at the frag point. He did not even look at Excali to get that frag. This was just very underwhelming from the side of Badua Lipa. Even though they got the round, this wasn't expected.
On a counterpoint, I think Excali could have waited for the plant to go down, because it didn't, right? They were still, despite being on the ground, maybe he could have waited, but he was getting a little bit antsy and confident. For now, Excali, he's picked up the Marshall on the back of the money that he gathered from getting those 2 kills, actually 3 kills that he found. And he's feeling a little confident. There is an ace stack here, and Sai, he's gonna just back up a little bit and go with his drone further to clear any angles, but that's been shut down instantly. And Badua Lipa understand that the A site might have more players than they can handle, so they've decided to head on towards C. Ralphio's turret is the only thing guarding that site, and it will be given up for a retake for sure, as Badua Lipa, they find this site completely free. and they should be going for the post plan pretty comfortably.
Hoax is creeping back up behind. Sorry, Sai this time around. Sai is creeping back up behind the killjoy from the side of Orangutan. Unsuspected, his position is quite tucked in, but Aziz not checking the corner will get taken down. Sai gets 3 in the process.
Remaining.
JN with the 4th. This is again a very heavily taken blow onto the face of Orangutan, and they now with one
Oh
shield
no!
there remaining
Oh my god!
won't manage much.
Exhali, he gets.
Fusion cells.
He held that for too long. He should have shot a little earlier, and JN just dodged the bullet, pretty cleanly. Did not even know that Exhali was behind him. As now we do have Orangutan in their full buy mode. 3rd round in, and Aziz might want to go for a bit of aggression here. And if we have noticed, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, it is Exhali playing the Sova, which is not something you get to see every time, because of course he had to settle into a role. A great stun to push Aziz off his mark, but he's still going for the fight there. I'm not quite sure what, but he gets 2!
Oh, nice.
And now OG have what they need. 2-man advantage, and they can just sit back, relax, and wait for these BL boys to make their moves, because now they've got the advantage. Exhali's gonna take that one. There's actually gonna be Antidote. And now it's a 5v2. The round is practically done and dusted.
Well, this does not seem like one that can be taken up by Badua Lipa, but they are still going to be investing into the fights, trying to make sure they have a little bit more damage onto Orangutan. They do manage to get raw fuel out of the picture, and now trying to collect the orb. Hoax might be taken down. The smoke, though, will help him stay concealed through it.
Sai might actually find Aziz here if he
Last
start.
player standing.
Nah, he doesn't. He's not even ready
misses.
for that farther angle. He thought he's gonna be up close near the wall, but he was farther away, and he caused that on purpose. Of course, Aziz. He knew that he could be shock darted
30
in that
seconds
corner.
left.
And the last man standing comes in from long, clears him out of Antidote. A pretty good round from Orangutan as they keep 4 players alive. And they head into the next with quite some bit of economy as well. If we are to consider what just happened, was the fact that there was this one singular guy who's been dominating from the previous map. He goes in towards short. He just has one speck of utility to work in his favor. That's a stun from Antidote. Gets 2 kills and is able to rotate back to the site and go away without having to pay for the consequences of his action.
Beautifully done by Orangutan. However, they still have a lot to pick back up if they want to make sure that Haven stays their map. Because
wow.
again, with this defense-sided... that shock dart kind of didn't work out. Okay, this could have been painful, but Aziz, he does get 1 before getting taken down. Numbers are still equalized, but OG Exhali is very, very low on HP.
That's
has done his job,
unreasonable. Yeah,
True.
that's unreasonable for him to get away with that kill there. He was on 9 HP. He finds that kill, and it's a pretty important kill as well, because now they have the man advantage. Although BL do have that rolling thunder available, they're going for that C split with the breach on towards the site, but the stack is on Garage, and they could pay the price for this. Out he comes, off he pops,
nice
and the
stun.
rolling thunder has been put to no use at all. Hoax is left alone as a big bad ultimate had actually been baited out without even actually having the intention to do so. OG playing the mind games without even actually wanting to play the mind games.
It's like Badua Lipa is digging their own grave right now. Falling right into the face of Antidote. Hoax will lose his life as well, making the equalizer come up for the side of Orangutan. This, first of all, Exhali was not supposed to win this fight. Not only did he give Mancout advantage, he also made sure that Badua Lipa did not have any information denial agent available anymore, because once the smokes are gone, it's very hard to hold on to a site, and hence the hesitation towards even committing to a site, which was again capitalized on by the side of Orangutan. Very well done.
Oh, now they seem like they want to go for a bit of a C push here. Aziz could be dashing in and out he goes. He's going to get information while the entirety of the attack is going towards A. They've heard that push pretty sure, and they're ready for it instantly. Look at that smoke from the defense, though. They've given him a bit of a one-way there to execute this C-long hold, and he's going to stay there with his knives as the breach. He's rotated away. Antidote's going to be calling this pretty quickly because he knows that Aziz can hold it on his own. He's heard it, he's seen it, and he's going to get away. He knows he's got better opportunities for better fights, and instantly he's going to make sure that he plays for a better time in this round.
Well, I like how controlled the aggression on Orangutan is, because in an opportunity like this, we do see Jets trying to commit to the fight. But the fact that hearing multiple footsteps, Aziz decided to go back into the side and wait for the commitment to come in from the side of Badua Lipa made it very possible for Orangutan to breathe a little more. Rofu with that frag will make sure that there's more openings coming
Enemy
in.
remaining.
And now with
Wow.
only side
Wow.
remaining on the side with no HP at all of his own, Excali will close the game out for Orangutan. And their ultimate economy is also going on surmounting now.
Yep. Two ultimates in their hand. I'm not quite sure how close are BL to that lockdown. I would like to have a look at the scoreboard, if at all it does pop up, hopefully. But a lockdown and the Hunter's Fury available for the defense. They're going to be pretty happy with their retake utility, but it seems like they want to send Aziz once again towards A short and kind of pick up a fight here. He does have the operator. He's going to run straight in, and he will have a lot of targets, but he's denied because of that nanoswarm. He's still itching, though. He's going in further, and now he's going to hear all of these players come towards long. Excali's seen 4 there, and he's tagged up one as well. A shock dart to keep them at bay, expecting a second. Flash comes his way. He's going to play inside his own teammate Smoke as Aziz gets the kill towards short.
Well, the numbers did get equalized at one point of time, but there's still a lot of aggression coming in from the side of Orangutan. Shibi left alone to fend for the team, and that too in a position where there isn't much Badua Lipa can really do. No site control, no spike control, and no numbers either. Moreover, they do not have the right economy to go forward with. This is not a battle Shibi should be picking. He should just save his weapon, but he's trying to peek in. And Aziz will wave him goodbye. Right then and there. With that operator, he will successfully finish this mission for the team and get the 4th on board for Orangutan.
Most certainly. Shivi, he tried his level best, but is not going to be able to do anything more. I think he could have probably just waited for a smoke. I think he had a smoke. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he could have used it to pick up the spike, get away from there. But hey, waste not, want not as we move in further into this game. JN still 2 away from his ultimate, by the way. As the only one they've got now is the Omens. Shivi giving up a bit of enigma here, trying to make Aziz wonder where exactly is this angle. But they are currently on an eco right now, BL, so this is another round for Orangutan to just build up their economy. And Rafio's waiting with his turret as a dual setup. It's like a, you know, little brother with the older brother just waiting to take this fight here. And Rafio wins it.
Placing swarm grenade.
1.5 men, we can call it. Well, Rafio with that frag already making sure that the numbers roll in the favor of Orangutan, and Aziz coming back to the rescue of the team. The operator, however, is lost, and now the numbers are closing up. Very close to comfort.
1 enemy remaining.
This is not looking very good for the side of OG. However, they have recovered the heaviest expense that they had made from the team. I do feel like this should have been cleaner. Much more cleaner.
Yeah, it should have been. I think they could have avoided a little bit of those, you know, fights. Maybe played it for a little better, but of course they're feeling it, so you know you can't blame them. And of course they've got money for days, so absolutely go ahead and take any fight you want as long as you've got, you know, quite the bank in your hands. As Orangutan just keep on building their lead. Haven seemingly has started off pretty badly. And look at this Aziz. He expects DC Rule to come up on top over there. And he's looking at angle because he knows that the blades are active for them. but he's not coming here. He's going towards mid, and he's actually not going to be even using his blades because he wants to go with the Vandal towards Garage. Out goes the drone. It is going to be detecting a bit, and that's such a great stun, and Nanoswarm combo, and he's being pushed away from so many angles. Excali was giving him so much trouble, and the other side, Antidote and Aziz, they make the best use of all that utility. They get one each, and now Antidote, he's got a bit of problem, but Frostmind, he takes care of that problem, as Shivi is eliminated from this round. DC Rules hoping for one frag at this point because he needs something to work upon. But nothing is being given by OG, and his teammates lost as well. And when he does get a frag, it's just far too late. OG with the 6th on their board as they just keep on finding value round after round and just keep pushing this team to limits that they did not know it was possible. But Badua Lipa are just kind of giving out fights in the most, I would say, unopportunistic moments. They shouldn't be, going in completely unhanded. The patience that they had in the previous map is fading away in this because we could see in the previous map, right? Ascent, they were playing so slow, calm, good pace. But here, as the rounds keep going by, they're getting a little bit desperate, and I think that's forcing them to make movements that's causing a lot more trouble than actually, help them.
True that. There's a lot of panic we can already see coming in from the side of Badua Lipa, and we can also see frags being taken onto them. JN trying to hold the ground. He has a Guardian in his hands. Swaps it for a Vandal, gets a couple more, makes 3 frags and balances the numbers out on the team. Gives a breathing chance for Badua Lipa to hang by. But then again, Antidote will be just on time to take care of JN. And then Cologne Omen will be taken out by Frostmind. Oh goodness. Orangutan, this was illegally won by them and also illegally snatched by JN to begin with. This was such a dicey round altogether.
Well, 7-2. Orangutan seemingly pretty heavily in the lead right now. Unless, of course, that one Rolling Thunder could change things up, but it doesn't seem likely for any fact of the matter. Excali's got a bit of info, and a lot of info, and he sees a third as well, so they know this is going to be an A hit. Rotation's being instantly called in. A Rolling Thunder from the own teammate stuns up both the players here. A little bit of a misclick, I would say, or a little bit of a misplacement of your own position from the teammates. But the A side, irrespective of all of that, is still going to be clear for plans.
Well, the plan definitely does go in, but Badua Lipa needed that boost in economy nonetheless. However, the numbers are not going to stay in their favor for long because Raw Fuel will be able to capitalize on that. Now with the lockdown already online, he has pushed players far away off from the site. DC Rules trying to come back in. He will still be stopped with the fault line. Oh no, the barrel got spotted. The barrel got spotted. DC Rule got one, but he could not manage another. And now OG trying to get their Rolling Thunder back online soon enough to give the defusal to Antidote.
You're not being shot at, you're doing
But it's still going to be a
wrong.
couple of rounds before that's online, right?
Yeah,
And that's all that's remaining in this half.
Yeah, there is just 2 rounds remaining, but Antidote, you can count upon him to try and find those orbs in the form of kills, or if he wants to try a little bit of aggression towards C-Long, it could work as well, but it doesn't seem likely, as OG now wait for BL to make another move. They are currently, I think, in the midst of a player DC, and it's not exactly DC, it's going to be Frostmind. As he can see at the spawn area, he's just stood there waiting to maybe come back into the game. Shouldn't be too long, but this half has been quite the dominance we can see. And on the other side, yes, they've got a full buy, 3 players on half armor. Not going to be too much of a problem because everybody's playing a Vandal on the attack and on the defense as well. But how do they turn this around? What do you think that needs to be done from BL to actually turn this around?
First of all, communicate better. I'm seeing a lot of gap in communication from the side of BL nonetheless. And after that, they do need to figure out how to make sure they're not losing players early on. There has to be a little more composure, a little more calmness into the move. Probably for once, try the last 30-second meta. Just hold off, make Orangutan panic instead, because right now BL is the only team that's, hastily making moves that are not working out for them. If they were able to put OG in a position where OG would try to anticipate and probably get anxious about where the move is coming in and make a little bit of mistake, it will give BL an opportunity to capitalize on. Hopefully, they are able to pull something off. What do you think?
I think that BL need to go for a full, I would say, full stop kind of an execute where they just wait for Orangutan for the first 40 seconds to make a bit of movement. Let Orangutan gain control of one area and then force them out with utility on the same side. And I think that side should be where currently Aziz is, because that operator is going to be the easiest to kill if you just keep pushing him with utility, not with your players. So in my mind, I think they should be looking to find where the operator is situated, try to bait it out first, and then go on the back of it to try and get DC Rules into a position where he can dash upon Aziz and take him out. Because if they find that kill onto Aziz, then they will make it so much easier for themselves to actually play this round. Not to, of course, take anything away from the rest of OG's members. They've been doing phenomenally well, but this is the only way for BL to actually get into the game. Because if Aziz's operator does not get any value in that particular round, it means they don't have to worry about the one guy who's been absolutely winning every single fight he sees and can actually focus upon playing the post plan a little bit more as a team. They get to the post plant, yes, but those post plants are usually denied by the chaos that is caused by Aziz.
Completely agree on that. Aziz is definitely a very pivotal point from the side of Orangutan. Picking him out can give a good enough opportunity for Badua Lipa to actually go ahead and acquire themselves rounds that can give them more value than what they're acquiring so far. But yeah, since the first two pistol rounds, there's nothing that Badua Lipa has been able to acquire, and I feel like if they don't change anything around just now, it's gonna be a devastating scoreline. Anything below 8-4 is like depressing. I'm trying to look for a good word here. Anything below 8-4 is bad. Even 8-4 is not really good enough. 7-5 is what you should be having at least. Again, being on the defense sided composition on Badua Lipa itself, I do feel like being on defensive side, they will be able to squeeze a little more than this. But then again, the larger lead you give away to OG already, the worse your chances of actually making a comeback will be.
I think that, of course, Haven is called a slightly attack-sided map, so this already seems like a done and dusted case. But we have seen where that, a statement kind of proves to be practically useless because teams start winning more on defense and they find themselves comfortable. And I think Frostmind, as I say that, is back, and we should be heading into the game real soon. The pause should be taken out. As Orangutan now, they've got a good setup on to C with the Killjoy. And maybe Aziz is looking likely to take a peek outside a garage. And while I do hear the chat being used by the players, I'm not quite sure what exactly it is they're conversing, but we should be starting off the game real soon.
Soon enough, yes. Well, I do hope that this whole gap in the game may have broken down the, momentum on OG, giving another chance for Badua Lipa to actually get a couple of rounds for themselves, and probably also given them enough time to communicate among themselves, try to figure out what exactly they can do to change things around. This time they are stacking up towards Site C, and Site C does have a little less reinforcement this time than compared to Site A. So let's see how this one turns around for the side of Badua Lipa.
Yeah, here we go. The game's begun as we will have all 5 players from OG alive and ready. They're going for an aggressive A push, it seems, and they will find out that there's nothing coming their way. And Aziz is going to be shut down. Sai swinging that angle was a mistake. I don't know why he swung that before that Recon did anything. And Hoax dry peeking as well Why are they giving him these opportunities is my question. I was mentioning it as well. Aziz is their strongest link right now, and taking a fight against him like that is just gonna give OG so many options to just shut down this game. 9-2. I just mentioned, just bait out and see where exactly this guy is, but Sai, he didn't even wait for that recon to completely detect the site. He swung before that.
This was just desperate moves coming in from the side of Badua Lipa in hopes of finding a round. But then again, this is a calculated game. You cannot gamble your way in. It just does not work out that way. Maybe being on the defensive side, you can gamble onto which side you want to stack heavily, which side you want to leave alone. But you cannot gamble on the swings. This just wanting to spray and pray cannot work out. One with operator, the second attempt with a shorty, which did not really bring fruit, but yet still gave a good enough start for the side of OG. The numbers have dropped though, and this time around it seems like Antidote will be left alone with his teammate to go ahead and take care of Badua Lipa on a retake scenario where they have one man extra. Never mind me, it's an equalized number now.
Yeah, the Rolling Thunder comes in, and one player who's at the back of that site is going to be absolutely going down. Antidote takes out Shivy first, though, as Sai's the only one left, and they're just playing with each other at this point. Sai will be triple bursted out of the server as Orangutan take up a 10-2 half against Badua Lipa, and Haven has turned into a nightmare for this side of Badua Lipa.
There were 2 rounds remaining in the half, and at that point of time, Antidote needed 4 more orbs to be able to bring his Rolling Thunder online. He magnificently farmed orbs, got frags, and made sure towards the last round he can make an impact with his ultimate, pushing Sai all the way down in a corner which was very hard to come out of, making sure that Sai is in a position from where if he tries to swing, there is a teammate available to take care of him. Antidote went ahead, made sure he took care of Shibi, and then they both together started playing up with Sai to close the first half on a 10-2. A streak of 10 rounds won in a single go from the side of OG. I don't know how Badua Lipa can come out of this.
They already damaged up DC rules, but he gets a great kill, but instantly he's traded off as well. Aziz runs into the side. He's got more where it came from, but Oaks shuts him down. JN finds another from Garage as well. He's still surviving, but Frostmind says no. Excali finds one, and there comes another Garage push. And Shivy's now been hurt as well. They know both the players are here. They know they can go towards A, and it's exactly why they're running it down, making sure that they get this plant first and then play for the kills together later. A recon to give out a little bit, making sure that the site is cleared up. And Shivy, only point of contact. He's got no support close to him. If he loses this fight, it's going to be a problem. And now it's a 2 versus 2 retake, and it seems like they actually want to go aggressive. Hoax, he's behind you, Excali. Oh my god, the turnaround comes in, and Excali, he wins that fight as well. Frostmind covers up for him, and Excali covers up for Frostmind, as both these teammates make sure that they cover their teammates' backs, and they work this out for 11th, and this might just be the end of the game here.
Hoax could have really changed things around. He waited a little too long to take that fight. He wasn't being scanned. They were all focused towards trying to get into heaven. But well, this just did not turn out the way Badua Lipa wanted it to. They were in a position from where I don't think it's gonna be super easy to even invest and force buy. So this is not looking like a very good round for them. This might very well be the match point for Orangutan.
He still survives, and he does not get the kill. It's gonna be Antidote who gets that kill.
Alrighty, I see you. It seems like Orangutan just wants to play now. They are full chamber mode right now. They don't want to take this seriously anymore. Just hopping around, trying to go ahead and find themselves the plant. Maybe play around with the mantle of Badua Lipa some more.
Well,
they're very confident.
Yeah. Absolutely. Of course, I mean, in this round, they do have the better weaponry as well, so confidence is of no short issue here. Rafuel, he's hoping for a couple of frags, and that's exactly why he's so up close in front. And he's waiting for the flash from Antidote. But he's stunned right now, and Antidote's been detected. DC will get that kill. That's a big kill. But still, Raw Fuel's not been checked. Nobody checks that corner. And his turret finds the final kill, not him.
What even just happened? I mean, graffiti angle we all know is a very crucial angle, and once the dash came in from the side of DC Rules, I felt like he will be checking on to Raw Fuel. He did not. It's a hard angle to check once you're trying to enter into the site from Link, but once you're already inside the site, that's the first angle you would check. This is textbook Valorant. What's happening?
Well, seems like they maybe expected nobody to be there because they saw the problem was that Antidote got detected by the recon, and that's exactly why everybody just kind of focused onto him. The minute he got detected, they're like, okay, you know what, take under heaven fight, ignore that corner, we'll see later. But he just could not ignore it, could he?
Here.
Antidote won his one fight, I believe, and then the rest came in from his teammates. 12-2. Seemingly 13-2 in just a couple of seconds, 40 to be precise, as long as a spike ticks. But it could be sooner if OG just keep pushing and killing and pushing and killing, because that's exactly what they're doing. Frostmine finds 2, he finds 3. Sai is the only one left, and Sai is maybe gonna be knifed here. No, he's not. Excalibur was coming in, but it's gonna be the ending of what Orangutan were expecting. 13-2. Your winners and your upper bracket finalists, completely not at all surprising, as we all expected, ladies and gentlemen, Orangutan to go further in this tournament.
Well, absolutely, we did assume a lot long before that we might be seeing an Orangutan versus Sarafa all over again. Being in the lower brackets, they are already waiting for Badua Lipa to come into play and probably take over as well. I mean, the way Badua Lipa played on the second map, it gives very little hope.
Well, yeah, it does not provide a good sentiment for every other team out there if OG just keep playing this way. But it is going to be, quite the challenge to actually try and defeat them if you can, because it's kind of a statement where they're like, you know what, we're sitting on top of the mountain, we're the kings, we're the kingmakers. You come to us and you show us what you've got. And if there's any team that's going to face them off further on between True Rippers and Sarafa, Reckoning, one of those teams in the recent past, by the way, has beaten them on the most recent occasion. It was in another tournament where True Rippers actually beat them on a best of one. It was a best of one. They beat them 13-8, which was an anomaly in that scenario because it was really good. Either way, let's have a look at the scoreboard once before we do complete and finish off this best of 3 and head on to the next one in just a little while. It, of course, is Aziz once again leading the charge for his team. Ralphio competing equally. It's actually Antidote who's got the most number of frags. But, of course, Aziz, with his impact of the first kill, first blood that he got, will be the MVP. As overall, ladies and gentlemen, 13-2. Orangutan absolutely in the driving seat to take themselves to the finals. No matter who comes their way, it seems like they're ready for it.
Absolutely. Orangutan coming back into the form, and also the switch up between Aziz and Raw Fuel is kind of working out for the team. And so far, it seems like being on the flex role, Raw Fuel is able to provide much more for this team to grow out of and feed off of, alongside Antidote being a usually unique initiator who's able to give the team the right kind of support at the right kind of time. It just puts them in a very good position. I was kind of skeptical seeing Frostmine come into play in place of RVK, because then again, the more players you keep changing, the higher the entropy of the whole team gets, and that just puts you in a much more difficult position when it comes to synchronicity. But that did not seem to be the case. It seemed like they were very prepared and very calculative towards their moves, and not only that, they had put Badua Lipa in so much pressure that there were a lot of panicky mistakes coming in from their side to begin with.
Agreed, absolutely. And I think that this is gonna, be quite the point for them to note before they, of course, play their lower bracket game, which I'm not quite sure who it is gonna be against. We'll have a look, of course. later on. But for now, we've got the other upper bracket semifinal coming in at the end of the next break, which is going to be, I believe, at 9 p.m. The game is going to be starting. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to hop in back then because that is going to be quite the game. True Rippers up against Reckoning Esports. They've got pretty great squads, both of them, and they're doing really well compared. If you look at their recent past. So me and Anna both will be back for that game. But until then, make sure go ahead, hop in the game and rank. Maybe see if you can get yourself a great victory there. If not either, team deathmatch is always there to make you feel a little better because of course there's nothing like spamming kills in that mode. But until then, we're gonna take a short break, grab yourself some snacks, and we'll be back with the second game.